We are backstage here, iHeartRadio Fiesta Latina. I am Dramos from the My Cultura Podcast Network, and I have family standing next to me right now. She has a podcast right alongside me. Amara La Negra, welcome.
Dame un besito. Because you know que en nuestra cultura, we be giving kisses and hugs, really como que touchy.
Yes, and you are right on point because we're talking about culture today, right? Because this is a celebration of our culture,
correct?
Right? Our language, our artists, our music. It's just
nuestra latinidad.
Exactly. So when we say the word community, right?
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
Bueno, community to me, it just means coming together. Coming together overall. It doesn't matter where you're from, especially in the Latino community. For the most part, we're very welcoming.
Yes.
And even if you're Colombian, Chilean, some way, somehow, we identify each other and be like, you know what? Hay algo como que I feel que we're connected. Dale, ven pa acá.
Exactly.
And I love that we're that open. And I just love that energy about us, you know? We're very welcoming.
Of course. I think it starts with how we're raised, right?
That too.
And I know your mom's is a very big part of your life. Shout out
Mami!
to her.
Un beso para mi mamá. Shout out to my mom. Yes, for sure.
I mean, let's talk about you growing up a little bit, right? The neighborhood you grew up in with your family around. Like, what comes to mind when we start talking about those memories?
Bueno, mi amor, the first thing that comes to mind is my mom being an immigrant, my mom being undocumented in this country, the struggles. Let's start by that, right? Because I think that all the things that I saw in my mom and the hardworking woman that she was, she kind of instilled that in me, and that's why I work as hard as I do.
Right.
But I saw unity. For anybody that's from Miami, I was raised in Hialeah, que vola. But then I also was raised in Brownsville, better known as Brown Sub, which was a little bit, more the hood.
Sure.
And I'm grateful because I was able to, get a little bit of all different types of culture, Miami is a very melting pot of different cultures, and I appreciate that. We have a lot of Cubans, Dominicans, Colombianos, Venezolanos. We have a little bit of everything, and that's the beauty about Miami. I was raised a little bit here, a little bit there. Aprendí un poquito de todo. I learned a little bit about hip hop, pero también aprendí un poquito de rumba, merengue, guaguancó, bachata, and all that good stuff. So I love Miami for those reasons.
When I talked to you last, you hadn't announced it yet, but you were hiding a little something.
You mean a little something?
Oh, you had a little something, okay?
Oh my gosh, yes.
And since then, you've brought some beautiful babies into this world. So I'm talking to Mama Amara La Negra now.
Twins,
yes.
1 under 2.
How has this impacted your life now?
Mi amor, everything besides my pockets, because they drink a gallon of milk a day. Diapers, wipers, clothes, double the food, double everything. But the truth is that they've made me even more driven. They've made me even more ambitious.
Yes.
I feel like I can conquer anything because I want to make my daughters proud. I want to show them the mother that they have, that I'm a hardworking woman, and there's nothing that phases me. I have weak moments. I'm a woman. Sure. I'll cry and I get a little emotional, but then I snap out of it once I see those little girls, and they truly have empowered me, and I'm so grateful that I have them.
Let's talk about the toxica in you a little bit,
Ay,
right?
Dios mío.
We're just gonna talk about it a little bit.
What you want to know?
Well, listen, we did an episode together with your podcast and my podcast, right? And we did toxic relationships, and what I found out was you might have been the toxic one in a lot of the relationships they were talking about.
Do you think? What do you think made me toxic?
Didn't you put a tracking device on one of your exes?
Well, because I was concerned about his safety.
Really?
Of course, because what if he gets lost? I'm supposed to find him.
Does he not own a cell phone?
What about if you don't have no battery? Guess what? I can still find him.
Wow.
I did it for his safety. I was just being como que worried about him. That's how you know it's real love.
So you're saying nothing has changed, basically, what you're telling me right now?
No, but let me tell you something.
Okay.
I haven't dated, and I've dated here and there, but I haven't really been as committed, as toxic after I had my girls.
Right.
And I've been, a little more chill.
Well, what does that look like for you?
I think that the truth of the matter is that once you have children, you do mature.
Sure.
And you realize what really matters in life. And if you have to work so hard for someone to be with you or for you to be able to trust someone, then that probably isn't the person,
Right.
I'm too grown at this point to do all of that. If you can't stick to the program, it's a wrap, because look at me. But that being said.
Well, I mean, how does somebody meet? Like, how do you meet people, though? How does this work? You're not on dating apps, I'm assuming, right?
I surely am.
Whoa, okay.
Catch me on Raya, on Chispa, on Tinder.
Wow, no way you're on Tinder. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Wait,
why did you say wow?
Because I think that there's gonna be a lot of excited people out there to know that maybe they have a shot.
Honestly, I've had people be like, "Oh, why are you in here acting like Amara? You're lying." And I'm like, "Oh my God, qué pena." But you know what? In this industry, I work so much.
Yes.
I barely have time to go out. And yes, the DMs work sometimes, but for the most part that they don't. So I'd rather go to a platform where I know that everybody is there looking for the same thing.
Right.
Wait, what? Hold on, because sometimes they're not looking for the same thing. But anyway, so yeah, I use dating apps.
What gets your attention? Like, what's a good line?
You know what? I think the whole, oh, you're sexy, or anything that's sexy, or like, oh, I love you on Instagram, oh, I watch you on TV. Like, those things don't do it.
Yeah.
I think the more laid back, chill you are, the more I appreciate it, because my life is about this. So when I have the opportunity of being super chill, that's my happy place.
I love that. I love that. And let's talk about the podcast, Exactly Amara. Right?
What am I exactly? Amara is exactly myself. I'm transparent, unfiltered, uncensored. You already know me.
Yes.
I talk a little bit about everything. I ask all the weird questions that you're thinking that you don't dare to say out loud. But I'm just a curious person. And I appreciate that my cultura allowed me to be myself.
Yes.
It also allowed me to be the voice of many Afro-Latinos, that I talk about it all the time. As a Latina that comes from African descent, for the most part, you don't see a lot of us. They like to hide us. And my cultura was, you know what? Let's be open and let's really show the diversity of what the Latino community looks like from the Latinx perspective as well.
Sure.
So just overall, I'm grateful that they allowed me to be part of this and to also inspire and motivate other Afro-Latinos like myself.
Let's bring it full circle. We're talking about culture, community.
Dale.
What is one thing from our culture that just gives you warmth when you think about it? Maybe you're having a tough day, tough week, some dudes are acting up on you, maybe they found the tracking device, you know. What is some a comforting moment you could think of in your head, culture related, that always kind of makes you feel good?
There is nothing like a Latina mother. I'm gonna take it there.
Yes.
There is nothing like a Latina mother that can put you in your place. You could be 40, 50 years old and they're still ready to slap you across the head.
Yes.
I appreciate my mother for being so honest, keeping it real with me. And that is the best feeling, especially also when I travel a lot, coming home, the smell of sazon, the sazon in the house, the smell of food, the novela in the background.
Yeah.
Like, nothing feels like home if you don't have those things in the household. So I would say my mom and the smell of sazon.
I love that. Very well said. Well, listen, we are backstage iHeartRadio's Fiesta Latina. My family right here, Amara La Negra. And that's it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yay!